Good morning from beautiful Lake Windermere in the Lakes District in UK. We're in northern England and today we're attempting to climb the highest peak in England, Scafell Pike. We've spent a few days already in Lake Windermere, wandering around the cobblestone streets, through some old manors. We visited the Beatrix Potter experience. We've had a great time, some really delicious home-cooked food, and now it's time to expend some energy, get to the top of Scafell Pike and see some of the incredible views across the Lake District. Let's go. Scafell Pike, we have arrived. We are coming for you. After a little bit of research, it turns out there are three main pathways up to Scafell Pike. The quickest, most direct one is departing from Borrowdale Head, and the more picturesque but slightly longer route departs from a small town called Seathwaite or Borrowdale, and we've parked our car in the free parking outside. In the summertime, this place gets super busy and the car park is often full. So one of the local farmers who we are walking through their farmland now opens up a back paddock, and for £5 you can park here for the day. The third route departs from Langdale, and this is quite a lot longer of a route up to the top. It takes around 14 hours apparently, and it traverses 3 peaks. We are doing the middle route from Borrowdale, estimated time around 6 hours return, as opposed to the Borrowdale Head route, which is around 4 hours return. We're just passing through the farmyard at the end of the road into Borrowdale, and this is our route into the beginning of the hike. It's a pleasant 6 degrees here this morning in Borrowdale, winter in the English countryside. And surprisingly, there's still quite a few people out ready to climb Scafell Pike. The car park was full at the entrance to the farmyard, so at least we'll have some friends if we get too cold or into trouble. We've got lots of snacks to the top. The beginning part of this walk is in the valley between quite a few very tall mountains. We are passing by some streams and rivers and plenty of sheep who are very friendly. The valley floor is very rocky and stony, so I've got my heavy duty boots ready to go. Bring on, Scafell. Even though it is 6 or 7 degrees here today, I've already taken off 2 layers. I've only been walking half an hour. It is warm work climbing Scafell Pike. It's actually really difficult not to keep stopping along this pathway because the views are just so stunning. And there's so many cute sheep who keep looking at us to say hello. Now you might ask, why on earth are we climbing Scafell Pike in the middle of winter? It just so happens that that's why we're here in the Lake District, so we really wanted to climb to the top of Scafell Pike. We're taking the opportunity, but if you can come in the summertime, you have a lot more light, more daylight hours. So at the moment the sun is setting around 5:30, 5:45. There's still some twilight light, a little bit of light in the sky until around 6:30, but we just need to be really careful if you're starting out for a long hike that you want to get started really early in the morning. One of the beautiful things about the English countryside is all of the cute little semicircular bridges, and we are just about to go across one. Stockwell Bridge. Actually, yesterday we went to another bridge just like this called Slater's Bridge. It's a bit of a mission to get there. It's reasonably close to Keswick on the way to Ambleside, and really remote, so you won't see so many people around it. If you can go there, definitely check it out. bit steeper and a bit more work going into it. Very rewarding views though, and some beautiful waterfalls around. We're getting slightly warm, so I'm now down to 2 pairs of pants. Started with 3. It's getting a little bit interesting, shedding clothing. But absolutely a dream to be up on the mountain, fresh air. So many beautiful scenes here. Just absolutely stunning when you turn around and look down into the valley below. Gorgeous. I have no idea where we are on the mountain at the moment. I don't think we've made halfway yet. But just soaking it all in and hoping our cardiovasculars are slightly reliable. Okay, another top tip for climbing Scafell Pike is to invest in a beanie or a bubble hat, because even though I'm so warm climbing up this mountain, my ears are really cold. The wind going through them makes them feel like icicles, and it actually hurts your ears inside, deep in there. So yeah, definitely worth having some kind of hat coverage or earmuffs for the glam look.
That's my little tuck shop for today.
Time for a snack.
Now what we got in here? Some bananas.
Yeah.
They're going off, so better eat them pretty quickly. Got some macaroons, flour chocolate.
Yum.
Got some crunchy nut cornflakes and something else. Probably some nuts or something.
Yes, we want nuts.
Nuts. But anyway, tuck shop.
Nice one.
Banana.
Thanks.
Banana first.
To the right here you can see Great Gable, which we are passing to the left of. We have just had a rather confronting sight, turning a corner and seeing a mountain covered in snow, and can barely see the top because it's covered in cloud. So I think I will be putting all of these clothes back on again shortly. We've still been following along the River Derwent next to Great Gable here. Great Gable. Actually, we went to the Derwent Museum yesterday in Keswick. They are home to the world's largest pencil, and if you were anything like me as a kid, I always wanted to draw, and I had a 72 set of the Derwent coloured pencils. So we saw the origins of that yesterday. And the longest pencil in the world is the number 6 from the collection, Deep Cadmium. They give you a pen and paper when you arrive, or pencil and paper, my apologies, and you have to go around the museum and answer some questions about the discovery of graphite, which they use for their pencils, and the origins of how they found it. So the story goes that in Seathwaite, along the mountain, which is where we started this hike in the car park, that some farmers found a tree that was upturned in a storm, and on the base of the tree in the roots was all this black looking substance, which turned out to be graphite. And from there they found huge mines full of graphite, which was even more expensive and more valuable than gold back in the day. And for this reason, people started to steal it and trade it on the black market. And actually, this is why it's called the black market, because one of the first known illegal dealings of a substance in history, and the graphite is obviously pitch black. So it's an interesting little activity to do if you're in the area. That is in Keswick, the town of Keswick. I think it was around £6 entry, and you just need about an hour and a half there. You can see a diamond encrusted pencil that was given to the Queen Elizabeth, rest in peace. And you can see some other amazing drawings that people have done using Derwent pencils and Derwent watercolours.
This is the Stayhead Stretchers box. Case of emergency, dial 999, ask for police, then mountain rescue. Unbelievable.
Every day I'm scaffolding. Another interesting fact about this region is that it's home to the famous artist and children's author Beatrix Potter, who was responsible for the magical character of Peter Rabbit. And if she hadn't had pencils, she couldn't have illustrated her books. The region is brimming with Beatrix Potter memorabilia, and we went to the house where she would take respite in summer vacations, which is called Hilltop House in Sorry, another area in the Lake District. There's also a Beatrix Potter experience in the town of Bowness, where guests can experience expect a 5-minute introductory video to her characters and then follow through a little pathway past replicas of the famous characters that you'll find in her books. So taking a little break from all of the local stories for a minute and back to Scafell Pike, we are walking past Dyhead Tarn, which is like a bit of a reservoir and estuary, the very top of the Derwent River. There are actually quite a few structures in this region made of stone. So the other day we found a stepping stone bridge, which is a little bit narrow but takes you across a river. You need to have a little bit of courage in order to get across. And we also went to the stone circle, which is a very ancient, strange looking circle in the middle of nowhere, really, outside one of the small towns. And the origins are a little unclear, but quite fascinating to see. When we were researching some of the reviews online about hiking Scafell Pike, we came across one very honest character who told us about one area we would be walking down. I believe he called it a demoralising part of the journey, which I would absolutely agree with, because we've just spent the better part of an hour and a half, 2 hours climbing up, and now we are climbing down. Alas, we are losing a little bit of our vertical advantage, but this is just part of the Borrowdale trek. I'm not British, but I do like to have a good wind every now and then. Just kidding. I love England. Earlier on in this video, I made reference to the beautiful, romantic, gorgeous little Slater's Bridge, and I forgot to mention that just around the corner is one of the most magnificent caves I've ever been in, called Cathedral Cave. And we went at dusk. It was very late in the day, but it was absolutely gorgeous. So you walk through around a 10-meter long cavern cut out in the slate mine. So after entering and walking through this 10-meter long cavern, the cave opens up around you. So we'll now be skirting this pathway all the way to the summit. We are currently walking through the Great End and Pearskill Gap, if you see that on Google Maps. It is the divide between these two great peaks. We just ran into a father-son duo coming down from the mountain. He said it's not too difficult to get up and possibly an hour from here. He did say that it was very cold and he had ice in his moustache. There is certainly no more flat sections of ground lulling us into a false sense of security. It is one boulder after another now, and we are doing it slowly but surely. I have found one of my most favourite sections here on the hike so far. This beautiful waterfall, and the colours, the green, the moss, the hills are just absolutely breathtaking. I feel so happy to be alive. That's such a corny thing to say, but there is just no other way to feel up here on this mountain, in the fresh air, amongst nature, and with these gorgeous sights across country England. Lots of ice as well, so we did pack some crampons thanks to our recent trip to Iceland. Shoes now have ski device attached. Not long now. Final push. There is virtually no wind up here, but it is very cold. There's some fresh powder that's fallen overnight. We can see the height at the top, designating the highest part of England, the summit of Scafell Pike. Hallelujah! It is so cold. The park is completely frozen over.
Neck oil IPA, our reward for climbing Scafell Pike. The fizz and everything.
King and Queen of England.
Highest point in England.
Well, we have made it to the top of Scafell Pike. I can't even talk because my lips are almost frozen. I can't feel my nose. It's very cold up here, but the views are spectacular. You can see across the entire Lakes District. The top of England looks pretty good to me. It's currently 3:30 p.m. and this is the time we expected to be down. Well, it's been a good 15 minutes at the top and it's definitely time to go down now. Super cold up here and there is just no respite. It's actually also quite windy up here. So time to depart the ice and snow and head back down into the land of lovely fires and home-cooked meals and warmth. This is our descent pathway. We'll go a slightly different route on the way down. It's 4:15 now on our descent and you can see the clouds have rolled in across the hills and mountains. There's a lot of fog and the temperature has really dropped. So it's really important that you get cracking as early as you can in the morning so that you can beat this mist and fog for visibility and also for comfort. We are halfway down the mountain now and I can finally feel my fingers again. I could barely even talk up there, I was so cold. The whole experience is an absolute delight. I would say that the top though is very cold at the summit and you really need to be well equipped. Most people stayed up there around 15 to 20 minutes only. That was all we could tolerate. It's now 5 p.m. so I think we will reach the car by around 6 p.m. Well, that's it from me. We are nearing the car park now. Thanks for joining me, and if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content like this and go on a couple more crazy adventures.